Godvictor, the mining sector, we've heard a lot of positive news, whether it's in terms of the operating mines, increased production, I think increased reserves, importantly the FX contribution, I think in the year to March, 2.9 billion, so positive there, and prospects of new mines coming up as well. How do you see the sector at the moment? What's working well and what could be improved?
Thank you, David, for that very good question. There has been a lot of positive energy coming forth from the government in terms of support, and I think we've both witnessed renewed optimism in terms of the Tanzania's investment climate and the government's enthusiasm in signing, for new mineral rights and contracts, which is actually a positive move for the sector. So looking forward, the outlook, it looks bright, especially with this new government support. And there's been a lot of engagement in terms of getting the government to, remove obstacles in the investment in the mining industry.
And maybe talking to that point on engagement, the budget for next year is just around the corner. What are the hopes of the mining sector in terms of potential changes, particularly on the taxation side as regards to the sector?
Yeah, in terms of the engagements, we are looking at basically three high key areas. One is the deduction of royalties. As you know, the royalties have not been deductible. Over the years, they were deductible until 2017 when there were changes in the legislation, which has now rendered royalty non-deductible expense for tax purposes. So we're engaging the government to be able to look into that and seeing whether it can give a credit or a deduction for the mining sector. But also the Section 56, the underlying ownership. We've struggled with exploration activities over the years since the change of legislation in 2017. And as you know, without exploration, there are no new mines in the country. So we're looking at the government being able to relax Section 56, which actually deems a certain change in shareholding to trigger a disposition of assets and attracting capital, gains and other taxes thereof. So we want to make sure that the government understands this point and makes it easy. But also on the issue of corporate social responsibility, there has also been a non-deductible expense over the years. And now that it's a statutory obligation, we hope it's also going to be getting a deduction for tax purposes. So these are the main areas we are looking at in terms of the engagements with the government, but also the ring fencing, in which, for exploration companies, you can have more than 100 licenses, but you can only find one license which is viable, economically viable. So the current practice is that, the costs are limited to only that one license. All the costs incurred on the other licenses cannot be deducted, which means it's a disincentive for the sector. And this is one of the contributors which has pushed exploration activities downwards over the years. So we want the government to look into that so that we can again boost exploration to make sure that we are sure we're going to be having other operating mines in the near future.
Okay, so in a nutshell, if we look at exploration, ring fencing is key. The Section 56 changing control,
yes,
an issue both for exploration, but also I think for development. It would go to capital markets trying to raise money.
Absolutely.
And then once in production, some issues around deductibility of expenses that on any ordinary interpretation,
absolutely,
normal business expenses.
Absolutely, David.
All right.
Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you.